All right, so this is another Chem Catalyst. All right, it's Thursday. Go ahead, write it down in your notebook. Hopefully by today, these are getting a lot easier. Go ahead, pause this, and then we'll go over it um, once you're done. All right, hopefully by now you guys are getting kind of sick of the same thing over and over. That should be a good sign. That should mean it's getting easy and that you're actually retaining this. All right, hopefully you haven't just been skipping ahead to the answers without doing these on your own, or at least trying them first. All right, if we're talking about Bronsted-Lowry acids and bases, acids again, hopefully by now it's burned in your brain, are going to donate H+. All right, bases, on the other hand, accept that H+, so they get to gain the H+. All right, therefore, if you're told you have a base, then you're going to be looking for its conjugate acid. If you're told you have an acid, you're going to be looking for its conjugate base. So these first two, we're told we're looking for a conjugate base, so we must be starting out with an acid. Okay, if our acids lose H plus or donate H plus, all right, when we become a base, we're going to kind of subtract that H plus. That means we have one less hydrogen than we did before, and we have our charge go down one. All right, so we lost a positive charge, so we become negative if we're neutral. You could write HO minus for this one, but remember, if you just kind of reorganize that a little bit, OH minus, that's hydroxide, okay? So this would be the best answer. If you write HO minus, though, that's fine. You'll still get full credit. All right, this next one, H2CrO4. Again, we're told we're looking for a conjugate base, so we must have started out an acid. For both of these, they both had two hydrogens, but remember, we're only going to lose one at a time. So when we lose this one, very similar. Now we only have one hydrogen. The rest of it stays the same. And our charge goes from being neutral, no charge, it goes down one to being negative. All right. These last couple, so number 3 and 4, we start out with bases. So we have O2 minus as our Bronsted-Lowry base, and it wants to know what happens when it becomes an acid. So when you become an acid, you get to add an H+. So you gain H+. All right, so oxygen plus another hydrogen, all right, and then a 2 minus and a 1 plus. Instead of being 2 minus, now it's only going to be 1 minus. This should look familiar. We gained an H, and we gain a charge. We go to OH minus. Notice that OH minus over here is an acid, probably a pretty bad one, but still is considered an acid because it has that H plus added. All right, over here it was a base because it had lost H plus to become that. So keep in mind, Bronsted-Lowry definition is a little bit weird. It's not always going to be the greatest acid or greatest base, but it can still work as long as there's H plus for acids and the possibility of gaining the H plus for your bases. All right. This last one, I minus, is a little bit more straightforward, a little bit more normal, what we're used to seeing. If you add an H plus to this, H plus I minus, you become neutral. And we have that super friendly acid, hydroiodic acid, or high. All right. Again, hopefully these are getting easier for you as we go. What I'd really like you guys to do now, regardless of where you are in the notes, maybe you've already moved on and tried the next activity, or maybe you're still struggling with pH. I'd really like you guys to go ahead and go to the link that's on your screen right now. All right, so I know it's kind of long and tedious, but please go to this web address. I'll try and add it into the description under this video as well, if you want to just link right to it. But you're going to go to this form before the end of class today. So today's Thursday. Please make sure by the end of class today you fill out the form. It's going to ask you basically how confident you feel with this material. So how are you doing with conjugate acids and bases, which is what your first quiz is going to be over when I get back. How are you feeling about pH right now and doing those calculations? And what have you done to kind of make it better? So if you're confused, what have you done? Have you only watched the videos? Is that all you're doing? Or have you watched them more than once? Have you looked at your book? Have you asked other math teachers that know about how you calculate logs? Have you gotten help from your classmates who know how to use your calculator? Kind of what are you doing to get help? And then what are you still confused about even though you've gotten help? All right, so that's going to help me kind of gauge, first of all, what I need to do when we get back, but also I can still communicate with the school and get you guys some extra resources before the week's over. All right, so we're not just kind of holding still and not getting anything accomplished. All right, you can of course always email me. All right, you know how to find that if you want to ask even more questions, but I will be checking this form around when class time ends today. So please make sure you get that filled out. I'll know because your name is a part of that. All right. And please do that for me. All right. Good luck today. Keep working through pH calculations. Help each other. If you know there's people who are confused and you understand it, please help them. All right. I'll see you guys soon.